How's it going, YouTube? Logan here from J5 Studios. Today, out here working on the DeLorean yet again. And I think today is the day this goes bye-bye. We're going to try and get this fender off today. I checked YouTube for like a video of somebody taking a DeLorean fender off. I did not find one. So this might be the first one on YouTube. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below, but I could not find one. So I'm just going to have to kind of wing it to figure this out. A few things on here, like this light, I got to get it off. The rub strip's got to come off as well. I may end up just getting a whole new like trim package for this car because this trim is pretty weak, but I definitely got to get this light off. Then I got to figure out all the bolts. Light, bolts are in here. May have to take the nose off. Not sure yet. That's what I got to kind of look at and figure out. So let's get in here and see what it looks like. Okay, I see a bolt there. I'm sure up here in the front there are some bolts. I'm sure inside here, let me turn this camera, kind of look around. I'm sure there's some bolts up here as well. Kind of just got to start going, taking stuff off, and start figuring it out. But there might be my first victim, taking that off. And then of course up above, when I take this hood up, there's also bolts there that need to be taken off as well. So let's not waste any time, let's get to it. Little bolts right here. Let me show you guys real quick. These are kind of easy. You see them right there? Maybe. Right there. Real small, tiny little guys. Some are Phillips for some reason. This is probably where I'm going to start. So, it looks like this might have to come off as well. Up here. What do they call this? The crowl. It's overlapping right here, so I might take that off as well. So, let's get to it. Those were fairly easy to take off. In fact, that was almost too easy. So now let's get underneath it. See the other bolts. This is for future Logan to remember. This right here is for this right here. Okay? Don't forget that, dude. So, this bottom trim piece here looks like it's held on by these little tabs. But if you look, there are also some Phillips right there and right there. So we got to get those taken off. So I'm going to try and not take this off completely. There's two screws underneath here. I'm going to try and take that and kind of just wedge this back a little bit to get a screwdriver in there to get those. That's kind of my plan. Also, ignore these. We had a little radiator leak that we fixed. Oh gosh, that sounds crusty. That is a crusty sounding screw. Never what you want to hear. Man. Need a different screwdriver. If I get a small little screwdriver, I might be able to get those without taking this whole piece off. Let me see what I got. Okie dokie. We're going to try to use this little guy here. Let's see if I can get it stuck down in this trim and then have to retrieve it later. Alright. That ain't gonna work. This has got to come off. Man, those things are freaking toast. This is the problem. There's no shot I'm gonna get that off. It doesn't even look like a Phillips head anymore. Look at this, audience. How in the world am I gonna get that off? Look at that crusty thing. Ugh. Might just have to drill it out. Let me try one more thing. Maybe a big thick boy will get it. That might be too long to even fit under here. Look at this. Of course it is. Yeah. Both of those are not going to work. Move this up for you guys. I was able to bend it back enough and get this little tiny screwdriver in. That one's a little bit harder. Oh, I got it. Whew. Got it. Got it to loosen it. Okay. Cool. Now we don't have to take this piece off. So that's good. Just two little screws. Cool. That's off. Now what? So all the way through here there's screws. So I gotta peel this back to get all those off. And I'm gonna try to do it without damaging. This weather stripping is fairly new on here. I think I did a video of me putting it on. So there's one right there. I just don't want to freaking break this weather stripping. So there's one there. And I think there's maybe a few up here as well. Ugh. I think you guys can... I think you can see that one. Making some progress. It's called progress. We're getting there. Let's move to the front. Looks like there's a bolt there. There's a bolt in the back. And this is in the front side. So I'll get those two out next. It's a 10 millimeter down here. Just kind of feel for it. Future Logan, this bolt goes right here. Alright, so previously, which was last weekend, I was working on getting this fender off. And for the most part, you can see it's loosened up there. I've got a lot of it off. However, I need to get in here to get the last little bit off. And I can't get in there without taking the front bumper off. And as you can see, I started kind of getting into it here. Took the headlights out. I was trying to get the bolts from right here. You can't do that. You have to take the front bumper off to get to the fender. So, with that being said, I am going to time-lapse me taking this bumper off and the hood, and it is going to be a chore. And this is not a how to remove your front bumper video, it's how to replace your fender video. But just know that the nose has to come off of your DeLorean to change the fender. So, time to start doing that. This is going to be a chore. Definitely going to be a chore. Alright, so I'll be honest with you guys, I think taking the nose off was not necessary, although I pretty much thought it was going to be. So now I got to put all this stuff back together, but essentially the hard parts of getting this off was right in here. Getting this off, this little top screw, and then there's also a screw on the inside, and I'll show you guys that. You can hopefully see some daylight there, my finger right there. Those were really difficult. This guy down here was almost impossible to get off, but eventually with some goodwill, did take it off. There's also two little set screws that set in here as well that you got to just be careful of when you're taking it off. A little bit of fiberglass showing right there. This really doesn't look too bad under here. Assuming this car was in an accident at one point. I think I remember seeing a crack somewhere down here that looks like it got repaired. But besides that, it don't look too bad. Here's the old fender sitting over here. And we got the what do they call this? The rub strip, the trim right here. I don't think I'm going to take this off. I need to buy new trim anyways for the car. So when I buy that, I'll put it on the new fender. I want to leave this off because the new fender is not brushed yet. It's going to be much easier to brush it with this not on the car. So after I get it all brushed and looking like this one does, minus this. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess took the hood off and all that for really no reason. No reason at all. You don't need to do that to get the fender off. It does make it a lot easier. I think I'm going to clean this up a little bit before I put the new fender on, just to make it look a little better. So I'm going to work on that now, and then probably time lapse me putting the fender back on. That seems to be the only way to really do this. But yeah, man, tell you what, DeLorean uses a lot of freaking bolts. I mean, there are bolts laying all over the place. Oh man, that actually looks a lot better.
It was super easy to take off. You didn't have any trouble.
Yeah. Just the cleaning kind of works for me. I probably will never get a chance to clean this again. I'm not sure on that. Hey, here's your door. There's all your door stuff. There, to adjust that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's pretty Okay, guys, so I know that was a lot of like time lapses and things like that to get that fender off, but let's talk about it. So here's the car. We got it back in the garage. I'm going to show you guys the fender. Let me turn this around. This is what it looks like now. Now, this does need to be brushed, as you can tell right there. It's not the same. It's not brushed stainless yet, which is why I haven't put any of this trim on. I think I talked about that earlier. But man, talk about a freaking upgrade. Look at that. Finally. So much better. So kind of some of the difficulties was really, I think, this bolt that's down in here was extremely hard to get. And yeah, you do have to take off. We didn't put all the stuff back yet on the nose because I am going to work on getting these headlights converted to LEDs. So when I do that, then I'll fart with it then. But this was kind of a pain. Definitely a pain, my poor bumper. But it got it all. We didn't really have to take off the hood either. If you're going to do this, it's a lot easier having that stuff out of the way, but it's not a necessary thing. Truthfully, if I had to do it over again, I would probably still take all that stuff off. But yeah, there it is. And this is the DeLorean reproduction fender that they just recently started making again, because these fenders used to be like, oh man, thousands of dollars to get. It was the last part that DeLorean made at the factory, and they didn't really make very many of them, and that's why there was such a shortage of them. But, you know, hey, there it is. Pretty awesome, pretty exciting. And sorry that most of this video, like I said, was a time lapse, but it's kind of hard to show you guys every little thing. We were just taking off bolts and nuts and things like that, and you know, wasn't too much to show. But I can tell you all about it if you want to know more. Okay, guys, that's going to do it here for this video. Lot of exciting stuff coming up for this car. Some of it including the interior. I'm starting to get the pieces together for that now, to get the interior starting to get swapped out and getting it to look better. You guys are probably going to see me brush this fender once we get to that point. So that'll be also something to add to the restorations. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to talk about anything with this car, or if you got some suggestions, anything like that. I'm always open to talk to you guys about DeLoreans, mostly because I'm still pretty new at owning the car, and I love hearing your guys' experience for sure. It's very, very helpful for me, and I will always listen to it. Like, subscribe, all that bull crap. Until next time.